Stop chasing, start attracting. Too many of us are in a constant chase. We run after things, people, and dreams, thinking that the harder we push, the faster we'll get there. But let me tell you something powerful today. It's time to stop chasing and start attracting. You don't need to pursue what's meant for you, because what's meant for you will find its way to you when you're ready to receive Keynote expansion, become what you seek. You see, life is not about running after things or chasing after dreams with an outstretched hand. It's about becoming what you seek. So often we fall into the habit of thinking, if I just get that job, I'll be happy, or if I can only find that relationship, then I'll feel complete. But here's the truth, you can't receive what you're not ready for. If you want love, you've got to first become love. If you want success, you've got to carry yourself like the successful person you already are. And if you want peace, you've got to cultivate peace within your soul, not in the noise around you. Think about it. If you're chasing love, but deep down you don't love yourself, what happens when you finally catch what you've been running after? You'll never be able to hold on to it, because you're not in the same vibration as the love you're seeking. If you're chasing success, but you don't feel worthy of it, no amount of money or titles will ever make you feel successful. The change has to start within you. It's not about the external things. It's about becoming what you want, so that the outside world begins to reflect the internal shifts you've made. When I look back on my own journey, I realized that the moments when things truly started to manifest in my life were the moments when I became what I wanted. I stopped asking for validation from others and started validating myself. I stopped running after approval and started living in my truth. And guess what? The more I became the person I was meant to be, the more the right opportunities, the right people, and the right experiences came into my life. So if you're sitting here today wondering why you're still chasing, ask yourself, have you truly become what you seek? Because when you become it, when you live it, breathe it, embody it, what you desire will naturally come to you. It has no choice but to be drawn to you, because you're no longer coming from a place of lack, but a place of wholeness. You've shifted from chasing to attracting. And let me tell you, that shift is life-changing. When you stop running and start becoming, you realize that what you've been looking for was never outside of you. It's always been within you, waiting to be discovered, waiting to be unleashed. Align with your authentic self. One of the greatest lessons I've learned in this life is that nothing is more powerful than being true to who you are. So many of us spend years, decades even, trying to fit into someone else's idea of success, happiness, or love. We change who we are to meet someone else's expectations, to be accepted, to feel like we belong. But the truth is, when you step away from your authentic self, you lose the very essence that makes you magnetic. You lose the part of you that's connected to your purpose, the part that knows exactly where you need to go and what you need to do. You can't attract what's truly meant for you if you're wearing a mask. You can't draw the right people, the right opportunities, or the right circumstances if you're pretending to be something you're not. The moment you start aligning with your authentic self, when you stop apologizing for who you are and stand fully in your truth, that's when your power is unlocked. That's when the universe starts to shift in your favor, because you're no longer hiding. You're showing up as the real you, and let me tell you, that is what the world needs. And let me say this, when you are living in your truth, when you are aligned with who you really are, people can feel it. It radiates from you. It's in the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you show up in every room. You don't have to say a word, but your energy speaks for you. People are drawn to authenticity because it's rare, it's raw, and it's real. There's no pretense. You don't need to force anything, because what's meant for you will recognize you. It'll be pulled toward you effortlessly, simply because you're standing in your power. But here's the thing, aligning with your authentic self isn't always easy. It requires you to look in the mirror and confront the parts of you that you've been hiding, the parts of you that you've been told aren't enough or are too much. It means letting go of the stories you've been told about who you should be and stepping into who you really are. And that's uncomfortable because society will try to tell you that you need to change, that you need to shrink, that you need to mold yourself to fit into a box. But I'm here to tell you, there is no box big enough for your spirit. You were not meant to conform, you were meant to soar. When you align with your authentic self, something magical happens. You stop looking for validation outside of yourself. You stop seeking approval. You realize that the only validation you need is your own. You start to trust yourself, your instincts, your inner voice, because you know that no one else has the blueprint for your life. Only you do. And when you trust yourself, you become unstoppable. You stop chasing after what other people think you should have, and you start attracting what's in alignment with your soul. The world will tell you to be many things, but only you know who you truly are. So align with that version of yourself. Let go of the need to please everyone. Let go of the fear of judgment and step fully into the person you were always meant to be. When you do, the universe responds in kind and everything begins to fall into place. What you seek will find you, not because you've chased after it, but because you've aligned with the truth of who you are. Keynote expansion, focus on your vibration, not the outcome. Let me share something that changed my entire perspective on life. Your energy, your vibration, that inner frequency you're carrying every single day is what truly shapes your reality. Too often we get caught up in chasing outcomes. We focus so much on what we want to achieve, on the finish line, that we forget the most important part, the energy we're putting out into the world. We focus on the house, the job, the relationship, but we forget that it's not about what we're after. It's about how we show up while we're pursuing it. Here's the truth: you cannot attract abundance, peace, or joy if your vibration is rooted in fear, doubt, or scarcity. You can't receive love if your energy is filled with insecurity or desperation. It's not about running harder toward the goal. It's about aligning your energy with the kind of life you want to live. The universe responds to energy, not desperation. It responds to who you are at your core, not just what you're trying to get. I know what it's like to obsess over outcomes, to think if I just work hard enough, if I push long enough, I'll get there. But let me tell you, you don't get there by pushing through with a heavy heart or a frantic mind. You get there by shifting your vibration to match the reality you want to attract. If you want success, don't focus on the title or the paycheck, focus on feeling successful in every step you take. If you want happiness, don't wait for some future moment. Find that vibration of joy in the here and now. The outcome isn't where the magic happens. The magic happens when your vibration is aligned with your desires. I can tell you from experience that life is a reflection of what you radiate. When you walk into a room, people may not know what you've been through, but they can feel your energy. They can feel if you're carrying peace or chaos, whether you're vibrating at a frequency of confidence or doubt. And guess what? The world responds accordingly. If you're putting out the energy of fear or scarcity, you're going to attract situations that confirm that fear. But when you raise your vibration, when you focus on gratitude, love, and abundance, you become a magnet for those very things. And here's the thing: when you're vibrating at the right frequency, you stop worrying about the outcome. You stop stressing about whether you'll get that promotion, that opportunity, or that relationship, because you already feel the abundance within you. You've already become the person who deserves it. And once you're vibrating at that higher level, the right outcomes will flow to you. They have no choice but to come to you because you're operating at the level of what you seek. You might be thinking, but what about the effort? What about the work? Yes, effort is important, but it's your energy behind the effort that matters most. You can work day and night, but if your vibration is rooted in frustration, fear, or lack, you'll find yourself stuck in the same cycles. But when you shift your energy, when you pour love into what you do, when you move from a place of trust instead of desperation, your efforts are amplified. It's not about the grind, it's about the alignment. So I want you to start paying attention to your energy. Every single day, ask yourself, what vibration am I putting out into the world? Are you operating from a place of joy, gratitude, and peace? Or are you caught up in worry, doubt, and fear? Because your vibration is shaping your reality. It's drawing people, experiences, and opportunities into your life. And if you want different outcomes, it starts with raising your vibration. When you focus on your vibration, the outcomes take care of themselves. You don't have to chase after what you want, it will come to you. Your energy is your greatest asset, your most powerful tool. You may not be able to control every situation, but you can always control how you show up. And when you show up vibrating at the level of love, confidence, and abundance, the universe will respond to you in ways you can't even imagine. Let go of fear and scarcity. Let me tell you something. Fear and scarcity are two of the most powerful forces that hold us back in life. They are the chains that keep us running in place, always feeling like we're behind, like we're missing out, like we're not enough. Fear whispers to us, what if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? What if I lose everything? And scarcity makes us believe there's never enough, not enough time, not enough opportunities, not enough love. But here's the truth you need to understand today. You cannot live a life of abundance while clinging to fear and scarcity. When you operate from a place of fear, you're always in survival mode. You're constantly looking over your shoulder, worrying about what might go wrong. You hesitate to take risks, to step outside of your comfort zone, to go after your dreams, because that voice of fear is always louder than your voice of faith. But let me tell you, the life you want, the love you crave, the success you desire, none of it exists in the space of fear. Fear keeps you small. Fear keeps you quiet. Fear keeps you from stepping into the fullness of who you are meant to be. And scarcity. Oh, scarcity is sneaky. It tells you that there's only so much to go around, that if someone else wins, you have to lose. That if you don't grab that opportunity right now, it might never come again. Scarcity is what makes us chase. It's what makes us cling to things that aren't meant for us. It's what makes us settle for less than we deserve because we're afraid that there isn't enough to go around. But here's what I need you to understand: the universe is abundant. There is more than enough for every single one of us. More than enough love, more than enough success, more than enough opportunities. What's for you cannot be taken from you. And when you let go of the mindset of scarcity, you open yourself up to receive more than you ever imagined. You see, when you're living in fear and scarcity, you're telling the universe, I don't trust you. I don't believe there's enough for me. Let me tell you a little secret. When you stop operating from fear and scarcity, you step into a flow of abundance that is always available to you. It doesn't matter if someone else is succeeding. Their success doesn't take away from your own. Practice gratitude and patience. Let me tell you something that has been a cornerstone of my life's journey: gratitude and patience. Those two things, when practiced consistently, have the power to transform your entire existence. Now, I know we live in a world that wants everything fast, everything now. We're conditioned to believe that if we don't have what we want right this moment, we're somehow falling behind. But here's the thing: life doesn't work that way. The universe doesn't work that way. There is a divine timing for everything. And when you learn to practice gratitude and patience, you tap into the flow of that timing. Let's talk about gratitude first. Gratitude is not just a feeling, it's a way of being. It's a lens through which you see your life, your experiences, your challenges, and your blessings. When you start to live in a space of gratitude, everything shifts. The things you once took for granted become your greatest sources of joy. The people around you, the opportunities in front of you, the very breath you take, all of it becomes something you are grateful for. And let me tell you, the more you express gratitude, the more life gives you reasons to be grateful. You see, gratitude isn't just about being thankful when everything is going well. No, it's about finding the blessing in the middle of the storm. It's about saying, I may not be where I want to be yet, but I am grateful for where I am right now. It's about trusting that even when things aren't perfect, there's still something good in every moment, some lesson, some growth, some opportunity to be thankful. Because when you practice gratitude, you shift your energy. You move out of the vibration of lack and into the vibration of abundance. You stop focusing on what you don't have and start celebrating what you do. And here's the secret: gratitude is a magnet for miracles. The more you give thanks, the more the universe gives you to be thankful for. It's not about waiting until you have everything you want to start being grateful. It's about being grateful right now, in this moment, for the life you're living, for the journey you're on, for every little thing that makes up your day. Because when you are truly grateful, you open the door for even more blessings to flow into your life. Now, let's talk about patience. Oh, I know patience is a hard one for so many of us. We want things to happen now. We want the breakthrough now. We want the success now. But let me tell you, patience is one of the greatest acts of faith you can practice. It's about trusting that what's meant for you is already on its way, even if you can't see it yet. It's about believing in the divine timing of your life, even when things aren't moving as fast as you want them to. You see, patience is not passive. It's not about sitting back and doing nothing. No, patience is active. It's about doing your part, showing up every day, putting in the work, and then letting go of the need to control the outcome. It's about trusting that the seeds you're planting today will grow, even if you don't see the fruits of your labor right away. It's about understanding that there is a season for everything, and just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it's not going to happen. And here's the thing: when you practice patience, you cultivate a sense of peace within yourself. You stop worrying about the timeline. You stop comparing your journey to someone else's. You stop feeling like you're running out of time, and instead you settle into the knowing that what's meant for you will not pass you by. It will come in its own time, in its own way, and when it does, it will be better than you ever imagined. But you have to trust the process. You have to trust that life is unfolding exactly as it should. And while you're waiting, practice gratitude. Be thankful for the journey. Be thankful for the journey. Be thankful for the lessons. Be thankful for the person you are becoming in the process. Because sometimes the waiting is where the magic happens. Sometimes it's in the space between where you are and where you want to be that you find the greatest growth, the deepest wisdom, and the most profound transformation. When you combine gratitude with patience, you are unstoppable. You stop chasing after things and start attracting them. You stop worrying about when things will happen and start trusting that they will happen at the right time. You live in a space of peace, knowing that everything you need is already on its way to you. You stop looking at the clock and start living in the moment, appreciating the journey, celebrating the small wins, and trusting that the big ones are just around the corner. Attract through purpose, not force. Let me share something that changed the entire trajectory of my life. You don't attract what you want by forcing it into existence. You don't manifest your dreams by pushing and pulling, trying to control every detail, every outcome. You attract what you desire by aligning with your purpose, by living in a way that is authentic, meaningful, and in tune with who you truly are. Too many of us think that in order to succeed, we have to hustle, grind, and force our way through life. We think if we push hard enough, if we chase after what we want relentlessly, it will eventually come to us. But let me tell you, true success, true fulfillment doesn't come from force. It comes from purpose. When you are living in alignment with your purpose, things begin to flow. The doors that seemed closed suddenly open. The opportunities you thought you'd never see suddenly appear almost effortlessly. Now, I'm not saying that living with purpose means you don't have to work hard. Absolutely not. What I'm saying is that the kind of work that comes from purpose doesn't feel forced. It doesn't feel like a constant uphill battle. It feels like flow. It feels like grace. When you're living with purpose, you're not chasing after things that aren't meant for you. You're attracting what is already aligned with your spirit, your passion, your calling. Here's the thing, when you're forcing things, you're operating from a place of fear. You're trying to control the outcome because deep down you're afraid that if you let go, things won't turn out the way you want. You're afraid that if you don't keep pushing, you'll lose something. But let me tell you, what's meant for you cannot be forced, and what's not meant for you will never stay, no matter how hard you try to hold on to it. Force comes from fear, but attraction comes from purpose. When you move through life guided by your purpose, you're not trying to manipulate situations or people. You're not grasping at things that aren't yours. Instead, you're rooted in who you are and why you're here. And when you live from that place, you become a magnet for the things that are truly meant for you. You stop chasing, you stop forcing, and you start allowing the universe to bring into your life what is aligned with your highest good. Purpose is your anchor. It's the thing that keeps you grounded when everything else feels uncertain. It's what gives your life meaning beyond the material. And when you're clear about your purpose, the energy you put out into the world changes. You stop operating from a place of scarcity and start moving from a place of abundance. You stop looking for validation outside of yourself and realize that the only validation you need is the feeling in your heart that says, "This is what I was born to do." You see, when you're forcing things, you're working against yourself. You're swimming upstream, trying to go against the natural current of your life. But when you live with purpose, you're in the flow of that current. You're not resisting, you're co-creating. You're trusting that the right opportunities, the right people, the right experiences will come into your life because you're operating from a place of truth. You're not chasing after success, you're becoming the kind of person who naturally attracts it. And here's the beautiful thing: when you live with purpose, the world notices. People can feel the difference between someone who's chasing and someone who's living in their purpose. You don't have to convince anyone to see your worth. You don't have to prove anything to anyone because your purpose speaks louder than words ever could. You show up as your full self, and that is enough. That is more than enough. Living through purpose doesn't mean you won't face challenges, but it does mean that those challenges won't define you. It means that when things don't go the way you planned, you can still stand firm, knowing that you are walking your path. And that's what attracts abundance. That's what attracts love. That's what attracts everything you're seeking, not the force, not the chase, but the power of purpose. When you stop forcing and start aligning with your purpose, you step into your power. You stop asking for permission to live the life you want. You stop trying to fit into boxes that weren't made for you. You begin to trust that what is meant for you will find you when you're living as your most authentic self. And when you live from that place, the universe responds in ways that will astonish you. It's not about chasing the dream, it's about becoming the dream. It's not about forcing things to happen, it's about attracting what's already destined for you. Purpose is the key, it's the foundation upon which everything else is built. And when you live in alignment with that, everything you've been chasing will start chasing you. As we come to the close of this journey together, let's take a moment to reflect on the powerful truths we've uncovered today. Life is not about relentless chasing, it's about aligning ourselves with our true purpose and embracing the abundance that already exists around us. When we stop forcing things, we make room for the extraordinary. Let's remember to become what we seek. The moment we shift our focus inward and nurture our authentic selves, we begin to radiate a light that draws in what truly belongs in our lives. It's time to align with our purpose, allowing it to guide us and inspire us in all that we do. And as we focus on our vibration, let's choose to cultivate a mindset rooted in gratitude and patience. Each moment of appreciation enriches our experience, reminding us that we have so much to be thankful for right now, even as we await the beautiful blessings that are on their way. Let us also release the fears and scarcity that have held us captive for far too long. When we let go of those limiting beliefs, we open ourselves to the infinite possibilities that life has to offer. We become magnets for our desires, attracting love, success, and fulfillment effortlessly. In closing, I invite you to step into your power. Embrace your purpose and trust the journey that unfolds before you. Remember, you are not just a passive participant in this life, you are a co-creator. The world is waiting for your unique gifts and talents, so stop chasing after what you think you want and start attracting everything that is meant for you. Take a deep breath, hold your head high, and walk boldly into your future. Because when you embody your purpose, everything you've been searching for will come to you, and you'll realize that you have always had everything you need within you. Thank you